All right, we're back. It's the RTF Show. I'm here. My hands are cold, and I'm wearing my finest Chicago Bulls gear. 2022 NBA championship winning Chicago Bulls, which they will surely be. But that's not why you guys are here. You're here to hear us talk about fantasy football. John Rose, how you doing? What's up, brother John?
I'm doing great. It's a wild week of fantasy football related news, which we'll get into. Lots of injuries. We are in, I guess, it's being called the bye apocalypse. 7 teams on bye, right?
Yeah, I think
waiver wire was.
I mean, just about every team in the league this week is affected by the bye week conundrum. There's a couple teams that I think just have minor players on buys, but for the most part, like I think Bill doesn't really have anybody on a buy. But for the most part, lots of teams being affected by this.
Yeah, the waiver wire was spicy this week. We'll get into that a bit more later. Yeah. Oh, are those the hands?
Just a sneak peek.
Yeah, we'll get into that later.
We'll do it soon.
Yes.
We won't keep the people waiting. But let's go back real quick to last week. Survivor update. Who is off the island this week?
Well, in a thrilling loss to Alec, Josh, San Diego Web Surfers, still a great name change on the year. Both of them really. San Diego Web Surfers with 99.30 points is off the island. He joins the likes of Charlie, Kelly, Ken, Bill, Peter, Sullivan off the island. And so that is highest, 6 people.
That was the highest point total yet, beating Sullivan by 1 point from last week. So highest point total off the island, 99 points.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And he's sitting at 3-3. So, just like Peter Sullivan is now 3-3, off the island there, with not a losing record, where everyone else there that is off the island currently has a losing record. So that leaves you, Michael, and Fitz, and Steve, and myself, and the Alpha Peter, and then Alec still on the island. So we're halfway done with that.
Interestingly, and I'll give a little sneak preview of what the power rankings look like this week. The bottom 6 teams in the power rankings are the 6 teams that are off the island.
Tough.
So tough indeed. But maybe accurate in terms of like how it should go. All right, let's get to it. Let's get to why you're all here. Last week, the Alpha Peter made a wager, and he didn't just beat me in the wager; he stomped my ass. It was over, by like midway through the first slate of games on Sunday. It was clear what was going to happen. Peter won, I think, 177 to 105. An enormous victory over my beloved Decatur Staley's. Really just tough sledding. Not only did he win the prize of having a better view of my beloved hands, which you're all going to see in a second, but also he won. What did he win, John? Tell the man what he won.
He won not only, probably, we'll be releasing an NFT of Mike's hands, and I think Peter could take his winnings on the week, the $25 that he won for the highest score, one of the highest scores that we've ever seen in the RTFL at 177.36.
Yep.
He won the weekly prize of $25, and maybe the first right of refusal of the NFT, or at least the first bid.
Yeah.
All
right. Let's do
let's
it.
see those bad boys.
Here they are. Here they are.
You
There
know,
you go. There you
you're
go.
not as hairy as I would
No.
imagine, but
The arms in general aren't that hairy. So this actually, I think, worked out not too bad for me. The only thing I'll say is I found out today that tomorrow night I'm going to have a chance to meet Cornell West, and who's somebody I really respect and admire, and it's going to be weird as fuck when I just have my hands in my pocket the whole time.
oh my god! Why don't
so
you like borrow some of like Barbara's like
yeah.
fake eyelashes and like put
Oh,
like
that's a good idea.
put them on, or you just like marker them, or even better, you could pull what was it, the uncle, the attorney from
Oh yeah, just get
It's
a
Always
fake
Sunny.
pair of hands. Yeah, get a fake pair of hands, or just have one of my coworkers like lay his hands over mine.
yeah.
I think that's a
Yeah.
good idea.
Yeah, I think we're onto something there, but those look pretty good, all things considered. Now, did you take some clippers and like trim the other arm hair so it's like less abrasive, or did you?
No. The arm hair is all
It's all natural. Okay.
I left it all natural. Just went with the hands straight off. The really tough part was the knuckles, or the finger, like right. These
That's
guys.
attention to detail. I wouldn't have even have thought that. I would have just shaved the hand and not.
Well, you'd look weird, hair on your hands and hair on your knuckles. Trust me, you'd notice. It looks weird.
That's a good point.
So that was the real bitch. But all in all, I don't know. Maybe it makes me more aerodynamic. Maybe this is something I just continue to do for the rest of my life.
I mean,
Probably
shit.
not.
Like you could, like if you were back in Korea and you started doing that, I could see that becoming a fashion trend that just takes off.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah,
I could see that too,
like,
for sure.
Do some
I love
stuff
it.
over there. What's Barbara say? What's Barbara say about it?
She didn't think it was that bad. She was like, all right. She thought I was fucking idiot for agreeing to do that, but I don't think she was thrilled when I told her on Sunday night, just so you know, I'm gonna have to shave my hands because fantasy football loss.
Well, you only got one day of work to get through, so like you get the weekend.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is, generally my hair grows fast, but I can't say I've ever shaved my hands before, so I don't know if that applies to.
Yeah, fully expect Peter to be reaching out to Karen and Charlie Rose.
He already has.
Oh boy,
that motherfucker reached out to them on Sunday, like during the game. Went over there and talked to them. So yes, he's already doing it. All right, let's move on. There was more that happened. You're here for more than just my hands. There were quite a few big storylines come out of this week. One of which was a really big victory for Bill. Bill taking down the average Peters. The average Peters, kind of having a bumpy start to the season, but Bill desperately needed a win to avoid falling to 1-5 and to stay relevant in his division, which I think, well, we'll get into the division in a second, but Bill, succeeded on the backs of really just 3 big performances. That's about it. Josh Allen, Adam Thielen, and Gisick had a big game with 8 catches for 115 yards. His defense showed up in a true Bill fashion. He found his defense and it came through for him. So
it's a true Lovie Smith prodigy there.
Yeah, well, he's from Chicago. We're all, it's all we know how to do. But didn't get, big games from either of his other big name players, in Chase Claypool or Mike Evans. but still managed to overcome that. Big victory there.
Yeah, it's huge
for Bill.
Yeah, just sort of an odd down week for Pete's team, all around. Like that Baltimore game got out of hand real quick, and so Lamar didn't have to do much, and then a weird down game from Terry, and Miles Sanders has just not produced this whole year, and then Kareem Hunt getting hurt obviously is a huge loss.
That kind of ended it. Yeah,
so
for sure. I mean, but ultimately that keeps Bill at least kind of afloat in what will probably prove to be a somewhat competitive division. I think really all, besides the Dicka division, which will be competitive in terms of who comes in last place, it seems like the other three divisions are all going to be pretty competitive this year. All, fairly close in record, and fairly even in terms of team strength. So it's going to be really interesting to see what comes out of this.
Totally agree.
That said, the cross-divisional matchups that we saw, the Levy division, which is both Peters and Alec, went 2-1 against the Hallis division. Hallis division, or the Ryan division, went 3-0 against the Dicka division. The Dicka division's just got to get their shit together. It's fucking embarrassing.
Embarrassing.
Yeah, it's not good. But somebody from that division has got to make the playoffs. So, I mean,
what they do.
The division winner is 2-4 right now. So Kelly, Ken, 1-5, they both have a very solid chance at making the playoffs. So there's no point in giving up. Who knows what happens when you get into
all you gotta do is get hot in the playoffs. That's all you gotta do.
Exactly.
And so
should we do a little power rankings update?
Yeah, let's get into that before we talk about divisions. Okay. More division stuff later. So
power rankings update here. Kelly still down in last place. Charlie falls to 11. Ken falls to 10. Bill moves up 2 spots with his big victory to number 9. Pete Sullivan holds strong at number 8. Josh falling to number 7 after he was 5th last week. His loss. The Decatur Staleys tumbled the furthest this week after the embarrassing loss to the Alpha Peters. We're down at 6 now, essentially swapping places with Brendan, who moves up to number 2. The Alpha Peter coming in at number 1, filling in the middle there. John moving up to 5th, swapping with Josh, and Alec and Steve swapping places at 3 and 4. That's your power rankings. I think I think it's about right at this point.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of jockeying for position, and as we get into the news and notes section, we'll see just all of the injuries that have impacted many teams on this, and it feels like this reflects that, where some teams have taken some big hits when it comes to injuries, and so the only person who's really just sort of holding it down is, of course, the Alpha Peter. Seems to be unfazed and seems to escape any sort of big injury woes outside of Nick Chubb, who's probably going to be back next week. So,
all right. Let's move on to John's favorite segment. We'll do a quick check-in on the waiver wire. What happened on the waiver? What happened on the waiver wire this week?
It was a fucking bloodbath.
It was.
People flying everywhere.
A lot of action after with the bye weeks coming up.
A lot of action.
I mean, I think the most notable one here is well, there's 2 I think to note. The Darnus Johnson sweepstakes, Fitz comes out on top there.
Yeah,
you take a look at the offers. I mean, there was only 2. Sullivan offered 12 and didn't quite get there. Fitz coming over the top at 16. The only other so I mean, there was a lot of movement, but it wasn't like there were a lot of people bidding for the same players. So, Dimitri Felton, who basically is Johnson's backup, I got at $2. Josh bidding 1. Hot.
Yeah. Did you play him tonight?
No, I did not.
I wonder if
he's doing okay. He's good.
Dearness Johnson.
So we'll check in on that in a second. I'm pretty sure he did.
Yeah.
Hot contest over the Arizona defense with the Hollow Earthers winning out as they always do when it comes to defense. Always willing to spend more than the next guy. $7 to the Alpha Peter, $6. I'm sure the Alpha Peter there is thinking $6, right? Bill's going to bid 5.
No, that's the thing is if like even it enters into your head, oh, I need to outbid Bill. Just save your bid. Just save your bid. Like just save your bid. Like you've already been outworked. Like Bill's done the homework, and he's gonna get his defense every time. And so I mean, it's just fucking embarrassing. Like Alpha Peter trying to bid $6. It's fucking embarrassing.
Agreed. The other one I just want to point out, Steve this week outbidding himself for Ramondre Stevenson, which I'll be honest, I expected there to be a bit more of a bidding war for Ramondre Stevenson. Nobody else bid on him. Steve ended up spending $33 on him, breaking the bank for Ramondre Stevenson.
Yeah, which I thought I saw like I thought I saw that he had 2 bids in on Ramondre Stevenson. Is that not right?
No, I just had that.
Oh, okay. I thought I saw there was like a double, and I don't know.
I don't think you can have that. Well, yeah. No, Steve grabbing Ramondre Stevenson does not appear to have him in the starting lineup, but I don't know. Maybe he plays him. I'm not sure.
For sure.
But I guess the idea, right, is Antonio Gibson going out, Pollard on a bye week. You need to start somebody.
Yeah,
so,
I guess, but like, I mean, Damian Harris had a huge week last week. You know, and so So where's that? I didn't understand it, but New England's running back situation is, I mean, Damian Harris had a huge week, which likely means Stevenson is going to go off this week.
True.
Based on how Belichick does things over there. Can we take a quick look at Fab Money left?
Yeah.
I feel like we had such a incredible amount of leftover draft capital that the way we've had.
I'll be honest, the only way I know how to look at Fab Money is to like go to where you edit.
No, you can see it in the league standings.
Oh, you can? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. In the league standings now I recall. Yes. Fab Money left. We are blowing through it for some people, myself at the lead.
Yeah, although, I mean, I still feel like there's, we had so much left over. It felt like, people had 120, 115, 130 with Charlie, who still has 124. Like Alex owes $98 in Fab Money. And it's not like he hasn't played the waiver wire. Like he's done that.
Yeah.
But the amount of money, it's like kind of like, with we're talking about Steve, he just spent $33, which is, 33% of your Fab Money that you get on the year, and he sells $44, which is makes sense to spend up a little bit on those things. And so
I mean, there has been a lot of money spent. It looks like, just from looking at it, more than half the league is below $50, or at or below $50. There's only
right around half, I guess.
There's only, I mean, I'm only seeing 4 teams that are really above $50. Kelly's at 51.
Yeah,
part of that.
and Josh is at 50.
Yeah. So I mean,
It's exactly half is at 50 or above.
and we're about halfway through the season, so I
Yeah.
guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. That's the waiver wire. Let's hit some quick news and notes. Big injuries happening all the way around. Baker Mayfield out tonight. Saquon Barkley.
Whole offense.
We'll see. Maybe he didn't practice today, so I guess we'll see if he does practice later in the week or on Friday. I mean,
unlikely. It seems,
Yep. Tyreek Hill still dealing with some issues. Could be out this week. We'll see what happens.
He's fine. Don't even.
Chubb out tonight. Kareem Hunt out tonight. Dawson Knox, who came on hot this season, looking like he's going to miss a big chunk of time.
I mean, in the last week we had, Christian McCaffrey go on IR, Chris Carson go on IR.
Yep.
Guys that were like, oh, it'll be a week or two. Boom, IR. Like,
yeah, it's been rough. It's rough out there. Who else? Kadarius Toney out again after kind of a hot start. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
The whole Giants wide receiver core. Sterling Shepard didn't practice again.
Slayton was out, wasn't
he? Yep.
The biggest news that dropped today, though, is the rumors that are picking up steam in Houston and Miami. One sexual predator, Deshaun Watson,
owned by the Alpha Peter.
Yeah. Well, Alpha Peter, not afraid to get his hands dirty. We know that.
Wow.
Or force somebody else to get his hands dirty because now I've got no hair to protect my hands.
Hey, A1 Frank would say that you are now cleaner than you have ever been.
I'm pure. I'm just trying to get pure. I just I really don't know what to make of the Deshaun Watson stuff.
Yeah. I also don't understand why Miami, Tua's been injured. They haven't necessarily, they've changed coaches. They haven't had, I feel like he hasn't gotten a fair shake, and I wouldn't necessarily trade for someone I wouldn't give up 3 first-round picks and Tua for someone who may never play in the NFL again.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the thing, right? If Deshaun Watson is just, Deshaun Watson is who we thought he was exactly a year ago, right? Then that trade, you do it in a heartbeat. Any NFL team would, but I mean, minus a handful, because you trade for the known quantity in Deshaun Watson, a young quarterback who's one of the best in the league. But given who we know Deshaun Watson is today, it's really hard to understand where we're going here. I don't know. So we'll see. We'll keep an eye on it.
Yeah, it's because I also heard Washington might be involved. The Broncos, there's rumors there. So, with as many rumors that are all involved, there's other, beat reporters coming out saying, it's false. But yeah, I don't know. That's just, I don't know how anyone takes that risk. It seems
Agreed. All right, let's jump ahead to next week. Take a quick look at the week ahead. Our cross-divisional matchups continue. Same divisions playing each other. So, a boon for the Ryan division, who gets to beat up on the Ditka division. And the Lovey division will continue to play the Hallis division. Hopefully, I think, not.
I think you froze. Mike. I can't hear you. Sorry, everyone. Can you hear me?
John, you there?
Yeah, I think one of us froze.
My internet
Nope.
just cut out for a second, but I guess we'll see what happened in the recording. But I'm
It
just
was
gonna
me
keep it
going,
rolling.
Mike.
Okay. Um, yeah, I think one of the biggest matchups this week is actually myself versus Sullivan.
Yep.
We both could really use a victory. Sullivan to try to keep pace with the 5-1 teams in his division, and really I think at this point for Sullivan, right, that the idea is you got to make the playoffs via a wild card.
Totally.
Catching both of them, maybe you catch either Alec or Peter if they have a major injury or somebody falls off. Catching both of them seems unlikely. So big week for Pete. He needs a victory. Big week, I think, for myself as I try to keep pace in the division and stay ahead of games. It's not looking great for the average Peters right now, as Odell Beckham has no catches about halfway through the
I mean,
third
you're
quarter.
starting Ayuk though. I mean,
I may not
Odell
start it.
Beckham and Ayuk are like match made in heaven there. Oh, speak of the devil right there.
Hey, shit.
Yeah, and you're starting Kenyon Drake.
Yeah, some of this may
That's
change. My
interesting.
starting lineup is not set. I have a ton of guys out right now, so things are not looking great. I don't have a lot of options.
I mean, Felton.
Jackson.
Bummer.
I mean, he's got 4 points, so it's not like I'm fucking.
That's four more than Ayuk's gotten all season.
Huge bummer that Felton's not playing.
Yeah.
So it's either throw Sermon or Hines in there, or stick with what I've got. So we'll see.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's a rough
You're
week.
in bye week hell, man. That sucks.
I mean, the idea at the time wasn't bad. I thought I'd just tank a week, but now I feel like I really need a victory. So
yep.
All right. Other big games this week. Anything else you want to highlight real quick in the upcoming week?
Let's see here. I haven't really taken a look. Alpha Peter and San Diego Web Surfers. That's going to be a interesting game. Yep. Josh's team is really good. And if it can pull off a win against Peter, then it's going to create a lot of drama in our league.
Yep.
I think that would help. That would go a long way as to develop some stories for the playoffs. And so other than that, I think the Ditka division's got to get a win somewhere. It could be. I mean, Ken and mine's
sure where.
Ken probably
is the best shot.
Yeah, I'm in bye week hell this week. It's not great.
Yeah,
starting Justin Fields, Darnell Mooney, and we still both have to pick up defenses. He has to pick up a kicker
and a tight end. Ken's got no tight end.
And a tight end. Yeah, he's got to pick up a tight end too. He's got a lot of work to do there. He's got to figure out either make some trades or drop some people, which Ken's bench is stacked. It's just not stacked with the right positions at the moment.
Yep. All right. Couple quick reminders before we head out. Trade deadline coming up a few weeks away. November 10th is the trade deadline this year. So keep that in mind. It'll be interesting, I think, to see how things shake out when an entire division houses the 3 worst teams in the league, right?
Yeah,
so again, as we said before, one of them's got to make the playoffs, so maybe you don't see too much selling from those teams. That'll be interesting. And next week, halfway point. So we'll have a bit of a special show next week. Maybe bring on a guest, maybe two guests.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to,
Maybe
I'd like to
we do
see like
something a little
Alec
wild.
or,
Alec would
some,
be great. Steve
you
would
know,
be great. Maybe we get Kelly on here.
oh yeah,
But it would be nice to
we
see
could,
some fresh blood on the
yeah,
show. So
we could even have division leader Charlie Goman on to
ooh,
explain himself
maybe we do
about the lack
maybe we've
of
tried.
running back starting position last week, which we handle that stuff offline. People, we don't get into it on the show.
Yeah, a letter will be sent out from the league office.
Oh yeah, yeah.
All right. Well,
But
let's leave
you
it
hear
there.
this? Think about it. Sometime next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, whatever works for you. Reach out to us, and we'll make it happen.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go put some gloves on and warm up these cold hands.
You better moisturize those hands.
Yeah, put them by the fire. And actually, I'm just gonna go glue back on the hair that I shaved off. I've got it sitting in a little baggie out in the kitchen. So go glue it back on and shake hands with Cornell West tomorrow.
Yeah, you should mail it to Peter.
That's a great idea. Probably get the FBI at my door for sending weird, suspicious package to Germany. All right.
No, I meant to Kramer.
Oh, to Kramer.
We can send
for sending weird, suspicious package.
You can send hair and then $25 worth of pennies.
That's a great idea. That's a great
covered
idea.
in your hair.
Maybe I will do that. All right. For Brother John, I'm your host, Michael Rose. We will see you next week on the RTF Show.
Gross hands.